Okay. The scariest movie on Netflix again? Incantation, a movie that I reviewed on the main channel over there at Mista. GG, that is I, was a very interesting review to do because there was so many things to talk about in that movie. And we gotta talk about these comments because I read a comment that I couldn't even process because it was shortly after I uploaded, and it told me basically you had the whole fucking movie wrong, and I didn't know how to feel about it. I wanted to immediately say you're fucking wrong, but it sounded kind of true, so I fucked off and I waited. Okay, I was gonna try and revisit the comment the next day, but I was like, you know what? I'll just wait till I record this video where I go look at some of the comments on that main channel video, respond to them, shoot the shit with you guys, answer some questions, see if we can get down to business. I'm worried about this one a little bit. Ryzen912 said something about Mr. GG reassuring everyone that everything related to the curse in the movie being fake is really wholesome for some reason. Thanks for thinking that's wholesome. And I guess I just know too many people in my life that are weird about that type of stuff, where it's like, you know, superstitious, if you will. So I think it was a nice thing to put at the end because I was also having you guys join in most likely, and I was doing it too. And I don't want you to think that I'm fucking, you know, gonna be a monster possessed the next time you see me. So the actual things in the movie were fake, yes. Lulu Thompson said, I know this is stupid, but I do really appreciate you warning us about the reveal of the face before showing it and making a point to say the chant and everything was made up for the film. While I know it's fake because it's a movie and everything, it's still something that does really trigger my anxiety. Just want to thank you for a small but greatly appreciated gesture. Yeah, of course. It's weird to get these types of compliments, honestly, because I feel like it starts to unknowingly put some pressure on me when I don't do those things. I'm not this perfect moral high ground that is perfectly caring for all my babies in the audience and making sure everything's okay. Not calling you guys babies, but I'm just metaphors here. I don't always do it. I know I don't always do it. So seeing people like thank me for it, it's like, oh no, should I be looking out? Whatever comes to mind in the moment when I'm watching the movie or writing the script or working on the edit, it's like, I think this is courteous to do in this moment. And that's just kind of what I roll with. So hopefully I keep doing well for you guys. Sorry when I eventually fuck up. Squat said, as a native Chinese speaker, the translations about throwing her away is actually totally accurate. Haha. She says the thing, which is literally throw away. Holy shit. Is that why you threw me away? Is that what she said, right? Isn't that what she said? Hold on, let me cut to that part in the video. Throw me away. Not put me in a place to be safer because you were just not entirely there at that time, not prepared. Did you just fucking... Were you a big fan of rugby, Mom? Kalumi Disco said, this movie hits even harder with a Buddhist cultural context. One example would be God, a Tibetan Buddhist ritual meditation in which you offer yourself physically to demons to be eaten and separate yourself more so from your flesh. Like vor stuff? Parentheses, which is an earthly attachment. Typically, though, these are simply ritualistic thought experiments. To avoid the curse by giving up all attachment, even your name, seems suitable as well. The twist that Ronan was trying to spread the curse and offload it from herself was really interesting. I did not expect it at all. I might have to check out the movie. I'm glad you enjoyed it because I didn't hate the movie. I think I said that in the review. I actually don't remember if I said if I hate the movie or not. I thought the movie was very interesting since there were so many things to consider. Even though I joke about like, oh, I watched the movie so many times. Every time I watch the movie, I learn something new because there is so much shit in that movie. Especially if you turn away from like 1 second, you can miss a pivotal scene, especially when you're working with subtitles. Because if you turn away, you miss a line. That could be a crucial fucking line. Gabagoo! Anyways, you're in a whole nother realm, Disco. Everything you said is interesting, and I think that goes to support that this was obviously inspired by things that exist currently. But, man, to be eaten and separate yourself more so from your flesh, which is an earthly attachment. It's a thought experiment. Yeah, it's something. Noir the Underdog said, no cap, I'm not superstitious. I can't talk when I have all this fucking saliva in my mouth. No cap. I'm not superstitious, but I appreciate that it's not real at the end because in my opinion, they did quite the job of making it seem like it's real. I usually laugh at people who exaggerate on the occult, but I understand the mom's reaction because my ass would have turned it off too. I get you. Did I turn on Audacity? But yeah, no, my mom was not fucking with it. I was even scared to tell her that I went to watch the movie, and even worse, was gonna watch it multiple times and make a video about it, and then also have skits where I'm fucking doing the thing and the whole shoot. Maybe she saw it and she just was like, I'm not fucking watching that shit, you stupid idiot. Blue said, I have to genuinely thank you for blurring the holes on her body, Mr. GG. I have both trypophobia and a fear of skin-related illnesses, provided they look realistic enough. They did. I would never ask that a content creator edit their video to keep me comfortable. For you to have that consideration is rare and very welcome, so I felt I should personally thank you. Thank you, Blue. I don't know if I would say I have trypophobia. I'm not a fan of it. Even editing the fucking thing, I'm like, I don't like looking at this over and over again. So I'm not going to do that to the audience. Because there was a lot of close-ups of it. Even now, I'm starting to get a little tingly-wingly right now. Gabby said, actually one of the coolest YouTubers ever, going, watch it, pussy! For a jump scare. Top tier humor, I'm going to ring the bell for you, my friend. Thank you, Gabby. I appreciate that. At first, I was just going to warn you and be like, hey, just so you know, jump scare coming up. And then I thought, oh, it'd be kind of funny if I fucked with the timestamps, which, by the way, I haven't seen anybody mention it. The timestamps are fucked up. They are not purposely fucked up. I literally put them, if you kept track of them, you would actually be able to skip the scare if you didn't want to see it. And one of them did go directly to the scare. But I was going off the timeline that was in Final Cut Pro. The time slightly changes when you're on YouTube. So no matter what timestamp you click on, they both go to the scare. Sorry about that. That was my bad. Elisa Soon said, so about the statue room. It's actually pretty common to have shrines everywhere in most Asian countries. It's not uncommon for people in small apartments who don't have room for shrines just to find a small unrented room and just devote that one to a shrine room. Everyone pitches in to pay and everyone can use it. So maybe it's just difference in culture if you don't quite understand. Oh, interesting. Okay. I clearly didn't fucking know that. Good point for the reply here from Stacy. What's odd is the real estate agent says something along the lines of the room upstairs is unsettling. So the movie wanted to point to it. Even if it is normal in the movie's culture, they did want to point it out in the movie that like, hey, it's a little weird. East Craven said, I think that with the monk scene, it's supposed to show that Ronan knew about the curse from the beginning. When she's teaching Dodo to write her name right after taking her home, that's apparently her trying to pass the curse from her onto Dodo. Okay, now I have to go find that comment because there was a comment that explained that way more in depth. I thought like, yeah, she knows it from the beginning, but like what purpose does that serve? That's what I was missing. I was missing the fucking Mad Lib as to why it would matter that she was there. So let me find that comment. I'm surprised it's not one of the top ones. Okay. Right here. So this is from Dastardly Duo. There are a bunch of other comments to read, but I wanted to read this one. 1337. So let me look at the timestamp real quick here. Buddha statues on the top floor of her apartment, and I genuinely have no fucking clue why. I like this movie, but there are random fill-in-the-blank moments where I don't get it. I don't get it. Hey, I was honest with you. I don't fucking get it, okay? What do you want from me? So Dastardly Duo said, that's actually foreshadowing. Ronan actually knew about the curse the entire time. She got her daughter for that very purpose, hoping to alleviate her own curse by replacing the chosen child with Dodo. That's why she gets her to chant her own name the very first night in the house, but somewhere down the line, she said she ended up falling in love with her daughter. So there is this scene in the beginning. She's having her write out her name, and she's like, yo, say it like this, Dodo, Dodo, and all that, right? How is the curse transferred just through that? Just by having Dodo say her own name, she has offered up her name to Mother Buddha? I guess I'm missing that. Because when they were back at the temple, they wrote down their names and offered them up. I guess, like it makes sense, right? You just saying she tried to put it on her daughter, that's why she immediately got cursed and then started to feel bad because she's a piece of shit. That makes sense. But there's still little fill-ins where I'm just fucking confused. I don't want to stew about that. Let me read a few more comments here. This is how it all ends. Said, wait, so you didn't understand that the mother knew about the curse and she brought the daughter back specifically to lift her own curse off using the daughter? That's why she teaches her name the first day, and that's why all the shit starts happening. Okay, so I'm just gonna be talking out loud for this portion. No, I clearly did not understand that. This is just how it all ends. But I guess I'm just confused because the spreading of the curse, right? The more people that partake in it, then the lesser the burden becomes. Is it strictly then a relationship type deal? Is it like Reddit karma? Because I think of the way Nerd City explained it in one video where like in relation to the OP, the upvote counts differently. Like the further and further you get away, the upvote matters more. But if you're like in the circle and you end up liking a lot of each other's shit, it matters less. Wait, no, that would have the opposite effect. No, wait, hold on. Oh, hold on. I was onto something. Ignore what the fuck I just said. That was dumb. But what I'm trying to say is, so is it more powerful depending on the relation to the person? Like if she did the video and fucking Jerry from Massachusetts watches the thing, I'm assuming that has slightly lessened the burden on her, right? as opposed to if she did it to someone close to her, like her daughter. So if she does it to her daughter, like she's pretty much fucking hands off because, hey, I just gave it to you big time. I just fucking handed it off to you like that. She bamboozled us to try and help Dodo. So I guess here's my question, right? She's sacrificing herself to save Dodo, which makes sense directly. But then I think of the bamboozle still, where she wanted to give everybody else watching the curse. Is that just like making sure Dodo's gonna be okay? She's like, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice myself because I know I'm a big participant in this, and Mother Buddha will respect that I just gave myself. But also, Mother Buddha, I'm gonna bring a fucking hefty population too. Is it like a deal? Like you're trying to get a good bang for Mother Buddha's buck over here? Is that what it is? So it was just combining the two just to like really make sure that Dodo was gonna be good. She was willing to fuck over so many people watching and also just off herself too to protect her because she feels bad about it. Is that it? Is that the thing? Is that the end at least? Still lost on a few other parts, but yeah. R says the first scene wasn't abrupt with an exclamation point. Relax. It started after Ronan made Dodo write her real name. You pledge your real name to the god as Ronan did for herself and her unborn daughter, and are not allowed to ever say those names again. While Ronan calls Dodo Dodo, the god can't claim her as your name, fate, life are tied in this concept of conception of religion. But she said a completely different name. She said Chen Le Tung, didn't she?
Chen Le Tong.
But everybody calls her Dodo. Oh, and the guy that impregnated her, before he dies, he tells her, let's call her Chen Le Tung. So that was probably her real birth name, but I'm assuming they called her something different because she wasn't fit to actually be a mother there. They were just like, well, we're just gonna give her a name. And in the temple scene, she does say that you will need to offer the name up to Mother Buddha. Okay, so maybe it just doesn't need to be as formal a process as it was in the temple then. Maybe it can literally just be having her say her name then. Because she said once she has a name, give it up, which she did, but obviously she was not with her for that entire process. So when she finally got back to her, she's like, okay, I'm going to have you say your real name. Once you say your real name, it's a done deal. Okay, so maybe that's it then. I still feel like I have little gaps, but it helps explain a bit more. Kuru said, Miss H is dead, even though she didn't watch the video, probably because she asked another god to protect Dodo. Dodo is chosen and possibly protected by Mother Buddha. And by asking another god to protect Dodo, Miss H pissed Mother Buddha off, so she was cursed and killed. The reason why that was confusing for me is obviously this could be another culture thing that I don't fully understand, right? But in that moment, I thought Miss H had given the guy who wants to be a dad. She gave it to him because she was already possessed, and it was just supposed to be a little wink and a done to Ronan, basically, like, hey, by the way, you never offered up your daughter. I was taking it in the same context that I originally thought it was in. So I thought it was just a little thing, but no, apparently, well, at least what you guys are saying, this is a theory, this is a theory. She gave her something to actually try and protect her. Hey, like, please actually give this to Dodo. But then why would Ronan react like that? If we're going off the changing theory, where Ronan was actually trying to fuck over Dodo, at that point, was she trying to protect Dodo? Or at that point, was she still trying to make sure that Dodo was fucked? Because if she was still trying to fuck over Dodo, it would make sense for her to react that way and be like, no, get that the fuck away from me because I want to make sure Mother Buddha takes her. That would make sense if at that point in the movie she still feels that way. But if she feels protective over Dodo at that point, then it wouldn't make sense. Oh, fuck, dude, my mind's gonna explode. And now I'm starting to get confused, because there are moments in the beginning of the movie when the shit starts happening. Why would she even chase after Dodo? Like, Dodo's like running underneath the bed and goes outside. Like, why even follow her if the point is just to give her the curse and fuck off? Wouldn't it be just as easy as doing that? I guess, why do you have to keep Dodo alive at that point? If she gave her the curse already, then why are you still getting up and taking her to school and doing all this other shit? And I'm guessing the turning point is when she's in bed and says, did you throw me away because you were scared too? That seems like what would be the most logical turning point, where she actually starts to give a fuck about Dodo. Because she's doing cute stuff with Dodo after this, and when Dodo has the knife and is watching the video, she's running in there and freaking out and being like, no, Dodo, and she's driving her quick to the hospital and shit. But then that wouldn't make sense here when he's giving her the slip from Miss H, because if he's saying, hey, this will protect Dodo, why would she freak out? That's what makes me wary about that theory specifically. That makes me think that it's the thing I said, but then there's mixed up context again, and it's just, what the fuck? Anyways. Okay, I got a big corrections comment here, because this is kind of what I was looking for. There's other people are leaving really nice comments too, and I don't mean to just be like, oh, fuck you guys, but I'm getting deep in the sauce here. Internet nobody. Some corrections for you. The reason she has Buddha statues is the same reason she knew the people at the Buddha temple so well. It's implied she went through a heavy religious phase to fight or spread the curse before having a mental breakdown and ending up in a psychiatric hospital. Okay, so she was really deep in the shits. That was her trying to hide it and be like, I'm not fucking crazy. What are you guys talking about? The reveal, well, not really well done, is supposed to imply that she knew this shit and probably had already seen what was in the tunnel video, meaning she might have willfully killed her family, maybe accidentally in this case. And those two cops at the beginning in order to spare herself, and more importantly, she uses Dodo at the beginning of the movie in a similar way by getting her to give up her name. One of the reasons she gave her away was so she didn't fall in love with her, making it easier to do something so vile. Okay, that's an interesting way to look at it, where she wasn't forced to give her up. She still had a bit of humanity in her and was like, I can't do this to my daughter. I won't let it happen. Okay, so that's interesting where she killed her family because her parents die in the beginning of the car crash. So basically, if we're going off that theory, then she's been sacrificing a bunch of people to keep herself going because... Oh, wait, that would make more sense because the fucking doctor says, why haven't you died? The closer and closer you get to this curse, you should die. And she hasn't died. Well, that's because she's been fucking throwing everyone else under the bus. She's been spreading the fuck out of that. She's been ho-ho-zhooing all over the fucking place. Even to her own parents. And those cops. Whoa. Okay, we're getting spicy. Holy shit. Okay, hold on. Where did I stop reading? The reason she shows the Mother Buddha's face at the end is so people watching incur the heaviest burden, ensuring Dodo's safety. As long as there are those with heavier burdens to be punished, Dodo will hopefully be spared. Ah, so you're saying it's almost like a hierarchy type deal. Like, this person is so fucking close to the curse, they have to die first. This person only knows a little bit, so yeah, but there's a chain of command, baby. You gotta go for the colonel first before you go to the pawn. The correction is purely speculation, but I think part of the reason Ronan has been somewhat spared from death is because she is a very unreliable narrator. She's been using opportunities to spread the curse and ease her burden, like when she got Ming to chant while they were in the car, by offering the ear at the end and basically fucking up the shrine in hopes to spread as much curse as possible. She had also affected her own survivability, succumb to the curse. Not to mention that the writing on her body is basically saying that she is sacrificing herself to the deity in order to spread its power. Okay, so fucking up all that stuff at the end was just spreading a curse? So everything in place there was placed by that temple to try and contain that curse, because then that would make sense in the sense of why they have it blocked off. We put it in there to contain the curse of the Mother Buddha as much as possible, so when those guys broke in, they were opening a can of worms. And then it makes sense at the end for Ronan to just start fucking everything up. Well, it looked like she was moving stuff in a specific order, where she still had like some weird prior knowledge for whatever reason. You know, if we're also taking in everybody else's theories, is if she had a heavy religious phase, then maybe she would know these things and know exactly what to do to make the curse as buck wild as possible. And finally, a lot of people would succumb to the call of the void and be curious enough to look at Mother Buddha's face, regardless of how they felt about her lying. So you would just say curiosity killed the cat at the end then. Gotcha. All right. I get more bits and pieces. I know I still don't fully get it, but I like the movie more now. I'm not gonna go watch the movie again because I've watched it too many fucking times. But I'd be curious how the movie would go and how many more things I would pick up watching it, having these theories floating around in my head now. Well, thank you guys for commenting on the video and proving me wrong, saying I'm a fucking idiot and that I'm dumb and I don't know how to watch movies. Fair. Totally fair. But I hope you guys are still enjoying these videos where I go take a look at the comments of some of the main channel uploads after they've been up for a bit. If you like these videos, please let me know. I'm more than willing to keep doing them for the second channel. If you don't like them, tell me and I'll stop doing them. It's your call. All right. Let me get some ho-ho juyas in the chat. And yeah, as always, I am Mr. GG and I am out. Gamer subs, baby. Code Mr. GG 10% off. Go get yourself some nice tubs, some nice shirts. You know the drill. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.